Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm here with Ark, and we're gonna be talking about the current meta in the 5.4 state, especially for the competitive scene. I feel like there's a lot that could be changed to balance out weapons, to nerf them, stuff like that, and how overall the game could be way better if, say, Splatoon makes these little changes, and how much people really enjoy the game in general. I first want to talk about the Slayers. If you don't, the Slayers that I really want to talk about are the Dually line and the Brush line. I feel like overall, something needs to be changed for them. I think the only current balanced, the only good Dually right now has to be the CDS. Because with MPU, it is a very good weapon overall and has very nice power to it. So I feel like that's fine. Maybe a small range debuff to it, but that's honestly really it. For the other dualies, I'd say for stuff like the V dualies, the Kenza dualies, the M parries, I feel like for them they could maybe probably in get lessen the time that it takes to lessen the time to take for the dually roll to actually finish the animation, and for you to get back into playing without just sitting there and acting like a sitting duck, because that makes you very open just in general. And then finally, the Clapples, the last dually I want to talk about. Listen, I've been maining Clapples for 2 years now, and I feel like in their current state, they're really bad. So I've been using a lot of shooter-type weapons. I feel like for the Dapples, a change that really needs to be made is to enhance either their range or the power, because especially against stuff like blasters, which I will talk about in a second, and bamboozlers, Dapples and the other dualies just don't have really good they aren't in a really good state for them right now, and there could be some easy changes made so they're much more usable, and you see much more of them in higher ranked gameplay. Um, and then I feel like that's really it for that's probably it for the Slayers lineup and some of the changes that could be made. Um, Next up, I do want to talk about the current shooters. The most used shooters I feel like there are right now have to be the Neo Splash, the T-Tech, and the NZAP. NZAP has been used NZAP and Splash have been used a lot. NZAP preferably being used a lot in splat zones. Because currently with armor probably being the best special in the game, they could definitely they don't need a change. That's what I'm saying. The shooters don't need a change, honestly. I feel like they're in their best state currently, and I don't feel like Nintendo should really change them in any way, shape, or form. The Neo Splash is probably the superior version of the T-Tech, because the Splash can shoot faster, and it has more power, and you can easily transition to play support, midline, and Slayer. Since probably right now it could be the best overall Slayer. I think for anything else, T-Tech's alright. It's just that you don't have much power, because of its fire rate. But that's really it with shooters. Next up, the last thing I really want to talk about is the some of the other things I want to talk about is the current blaster line. The reason why is because blasters right now, they honestly they're pretty good, especially Crapid. The I think the blaster line, they don't need a huge buff or debuff. I feel like there are a lot of people saying that they could need a debuff, and I think that they would use a small debuff, but that's it at most. I feel like maybe a small range debuff could help, because I've definitely seen a lot of stuff like Crapid and other Rapid Blasters hitting from farther away points on the map. Um, and just overall stuff like the other blasters. I feel like the Grim Range, which is probably the best range blaster right now, is it's also in a good state. Overall, I feel like the Grim Range and some of the other range blasters, they don't need a nerf because of just their pure power, and it really takes skill to learn the weapon. It takes skill to learn any weapon, but I feel like the Grim Range is the range blasters are probably currently the superior blasters. Rapid, I feel like if they well Rapid, I feel like in its current state it's very good, but it a Rapid could definitely use a range debuff, and probably I'd say the ranges are the most balanced, I believe. If that's a right word. Of the two of the blaster line. I think the last thing, honestly, if they make those really small changes, not really small, but those changes, I feel like the game could be much better. Just overall, and how people enjoy it the most. So, if you guys have any suggestions on maybe how Splatoon could change the current meta to make it more favorable in the more in the shorter range category, because I feel like the mid and longer ranges are the best. Because probably I'd say the E-liter has been mostly used as long range. Also Hydra. I feel like Hydra could also need a range debuff, or maybe a or maybe like um or maybe like how much it affects with MPU, because it really needs some kind of debuff, because I've seen too many people complain about Hydra just being OP in general. Both competitive and casual players have said it, and I have to agree with both lines. They need some change has to be made to the Hydra line, especially the custom Hydra. I feel that the custom Hydra is currently probably the better version. Because of its ink armor. If I get that wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not really familiar with the sets, but yeah, I feel like those changes could be made. And again, if you have any suggestions, please tag them below, because I feel like there are some things that really need to be changed, and especially could be included in maybe one final cool update for Splatoon, because honestly, I feel like even if they even try to get to a 6.0 update, which is probably never gonna happen, I feel like they would release a 5.5 update, just to fix some things up. So I feel like these are some things that really should happen, and how things can be changed around in the meta. Yeah, again, if you have any things, have any changes that I feel like you should if you have any changes that Splatoon really needs to make, then leave them below and I'll try to respond to them as soon as I can. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.